The Steam Deck has recently come out for pre-orders, and it's something that I think that many people like myself would have dreamed about. What if we could play our PC console games on a handheld device, and we had a device so powerful that it could do these things? And it was just such a dream that it's amazing that we have this technology now. But at the same time, it's only made me so confused about what exactly I want out of my life and how I want to live it, because I don't know really the kind of person I want to be and what I want out of it. And it's been hitting me for a long time what I should be doing with my life, because I've been confused about things recently, in the sense that I recently came across somebody who said that the meaning of life is to find the meaning of life. And while I think that's true, I think that's only half of it. I think that the meaning of life is to find your meaning in life and then live that. And for a long time, I've just been confused trying to think about that concept of finding the meaning of an individual's life. And my initial thought process was that the meaning of your life, what you've done in it, is not going to be a result of your happiness. It's not going to be a product of your happiness. It's going to be a product of the value you've brought to it and what you've done in it. And with that said, I think I've realized that there is a difference between the meaning of your life, why it exists, and the value of your life. And those are two separate things. I think a lot of people, they say that the meaning of their life is happiness. And I think that's totally fine as a meaning. But at the end of the day, the value of a life is not necessarily a product of one's emotions. So, putting this clearly, I would say that in an example, a father says that the meaning of his life is to be happy. Okay? But at the same time, the value he brings is not to the world, to the universe, to anything. It's not going to be a result of his happiness or a product of his happiness necessarily. That's not to say that you don't do things when you're happy, or you don't do things because you're happy and that can bring value. It's just to say that the value of your life is not a direct product of your emotional state. And we can see this in cases of Isaac Newton or Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, or even Elon Musk. We see that their contribution to the world, the value of their lives and their work are not necessarily a reflection of how happy they were. The most successful people or the most productive people or the ones that have contributed the most are not necessarily the happiest people in the world. And so it's made me think about things a lot, in the sense that it makes you wonder, do you really want to be happy? Rather, I ask myself this, and anytime I'm referring to you, these are all questions that I've asked myself. Do you really want to be happy? Do you feel like the happiness is what you're seeking in your life? Or do you want to have a valuable life? Do you want to bring value to the life that you've been given? Or do you want to have a worthless life, in the sense that the worth of something is often determined by its value? And again, Steve Jobs probably wasn't the happiest person, but his life had incredible value because he was able to create Apple, and he's been able to have this huge impact and influence. And so the impact and influence of your life is not a direct product of your happiness. And for a long time, my dream, it's kind of exciting to say this to the internet, is that I wanted to be a oncologist / internal medicine doctor who just wanted to at least put a stone on the path to curing cancer, or working on some chronic illness or some medical problem or health problem. And that would be the value or the contribution of my life. And I feel like that was the meaning of my life and what I wanted to do with it. What I'm trying to say here is that my goal with my life of trying to put a stone down on the path to curing cancer or something like that is not going to be a direct product of my happiness. If anything, trying to do that won't necessarily optimize for the happiest or the most enjoyable life. And it made me think about things because at the moment, I try to go to sleep around 7 o'clock at night and wake up at 3 in the morning because I want to study and then I have to go to the hospital to do work. And it's best to study before I'm very tired from the hospital. And this is optimizing for what I need to do at the moment, where I need to study for my licensing exam and I have hospital placements that I have to manage and do well at as well. However, after living this way for a while, it's made me realize if this is really the optimal way to be living life in terms of achieving my goals of what I want to do with my life, then should I just live this optimal way forever? It's not conventional to live and go to sleep at 7 p.m. and wake up at 3 a.m. But this theoretically is the best way to get the things that I want done in life done, in the sense that I can live a day-to-day 9 to 5 standard type of job, and I can still get another day's worth of work done in the morning from 3 until 9 a.m. And of course, I'm optimizing here even my sleep, where they say that sleep is critical for memory consolidation and retaining the knowledge that you've been studying all day and you've been working towards. And so this is arguably not the most enjoyable life I could be having. If I was trying to optimize for my happiness, I might be a gamer again, in the sense that I would be spending my time gaming and I would be buying the new Steam Deck, or I would be playing new games. I would be playing StarCraft, or I would be playing many other types of games, and I would be following these new trends. And I still follow these things because they take me back to a time where I was a child and I would spend countless hours playing video games. I wasn't the most productive person, and I wasn't pursuing my goal. I wasn't optimized for the goal of my life. But it was okay then, because I didn't have dire consequences for not being optimized. At this moment, I feel like I have to be optimized, in the sense that if I don't optimize my life for my goals of becoming a doctor, I won't be able to succeed. And there are dire consequences here, where if I don't pass my board exams, I cannot be a practicing physician in this country. And so I have to optimize my life. But it makes me wonder, if I don't have this pressure, and the only goal and the only pressure is to achieve the meaning or the optimal value of my life, then should I continue with this optimal path of trying to achieve that goal? Or should I be seeking other things out? If I optimize for the most enjoyment in my life, if I optimize for the most happiness in my life, I won't be optimized for the greatest value I can bring with my life, or the greatest achievements I can reach with my life. And this confuses me, because there's a lot of conventional wisdom which will say, pursue happiness, pursue enjoyment in your life as goals. But if we try and optimize for those things, we're not optimizing for the value of our lives. And this is the question. What are we going to be optimizing our lives for? Right now, I'm very confused. Should I be optimizing my life for the enjoyment I can have in it? Or should I be optimizing for the value that I can bring with it?